Hey, this is Kathleen Bradley, a.k.a. Hi, Miss Parker. And we are on the set of the original Friday movie here at Craig's house. And we are celebrating 30 years, 30 wonderful years since the movie was first filmed. So come on down and check us out.
Her name is Kathleen Bradley, but we call her Miss Parker.
Hi, boy.
How you doing, Miss Parker?
I'm good, sweetie. Thank you.
So I'll start it like this. You want us to call you Miss Parker because you got the Miss Parker shirt on, so we got to stay true to Miss Parker.
Yeah.
I am so pleased that I am being called Miss Parker. People ask me that all the time. They say, "Do you mind if I call you Miss Parker?" No, I do not mind.
That's awesome. Well, you made a lot of people excited about your role.
Oh, excited, period. A lot of young
That's what I was
kids
trying
and
to get
teenagers, and a lot of people, mama say, girl, we had to change them sheets a lot of times. Them sheets, boy, I tell you, they grew up on Miss Parker.
So we
Literally.
So we gonna talk about your audition. So when you auditioned for the role, what was that like? And when you got it?
Well, actually, I was on The Price is Right at that time.
Okay.
And I was the first African-American
Yes,
model on the show for 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah, from 1990 to 2000. And actually, Ice Cube wanted me to audition for the part, actually wanted me really for the part. And he told the casting people, he said, I want that black lady on The Price is Right. I had a name, Kathleen, but people always say the black lady. Are you that black lady on The Price is Right? I'm like, okay, I'll be that black lady on The Price is Right. Okay. And so he did, and he got a hold of my agency, and I went in and I read. Of course, they, told me about what they wanted the character to look like, and obviously I delivered, and everybody was happy that I did land the role. The first time I met Chris Tucker and Cube, we all read together with Gary, the director. And Chris, he's a great improvisational person. He is wonderful at it, needless to say. So he was trying to say something about Miss Parker. Yeah, Miss Parker. Oh, Miss Parker is shit. He was like, I'm like, taken aback. I'm like, oh my God. I didn't know that's what my character was really all about. Is that what they're talking about? Miss Parker thought, oh, okay. But come to find out, she was a hoe. I didn't want him to say that. I took it.
She said it.
Yeah, just her. I didn't say that.
I took it personal.
Right,
I took it personal. So anyway, as it was, we worked out the dialogue pretty much and what was going to happen, what was said and done. So it was just a pleasure just meeting with them and talking to them. At that point, nobody ever fathomed that we would be at this point in time in life, a 30-year reunion anniversary, and this being the cult classic that it is today. So many wonderful actors came out of being in this ensemble when we did it, and it just was done in such a way and a short period of time. It set a great precedence for movies to come, and movies and people and directors and actors trying to emulate. And I'm telling you, I'm just proud and pleased to be a part of this history.
Love it.
So tell me, Kathleen, since we go way back anyway, but tell me, the first day on the set, how was that? Because, again, I know you had came from The Price is Right, which I was really happy and proud because I was like, oh, a lady of color on The Price is Right?
Yeah, right.
Messing with Bob Barker?
Yeah.
I was like, this is off the chain. So when you got that first, you got the interview and everything, you went on, the first day on the set, how was that?
It was cool. It was good, because, the basic most well-known person, obviously, on the set was Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And I didn't get an opportunity to meet everybody. I didn't work with everybody, obviously, because of the different scenes.
Yeah.
I didn't, unfortunately, get to work directly with Debo or John Witherspoon and a couple other, Regina. I think Regina King was here the day I worked, and I did get a chance to meet her, as well as Anna Marie Horsford, which I love her to this day. We're still great friends. But it was just nice. It was calm. It made everybody felt so at ease and comfortable. And we just knew we were on a mission to have a good time. And the thing about it was with F. Gary Gray as the director, he gave us a lot of freedom to do and act and say what we wanted to improv, which is absolutely one of the most incredible things that made this whole film work, because it felt so natural, and everybody contributed to a great deal. But I worked actually 2 or 3 days, I can't remember, at least 2 maybe, but the first day, of course, was with Hi, Miss Parker, and the famous water in the hose and everything. He just said, hey, just water the hose, make it sensuous, do what you want to do. And I did what I want to do.
Yes,
and
you
just,
did.
honey.
Yes, you did.
Just make it sensual.
Yeah,
I
yes,
did, just, I don't know what came over me. It was really not a stretch, I tell you. That's me. They got me pegged all the way. Not all the way. But anyway, it was a fun thing to do. And meeting everybody for the first time for that particular scene, I think we worked that day. And then Bernie Mac, obviously, that particular day, that's when I met Bernie. And of course, my husband, Tony Cox, the with the dwarf. And he was a sweetheart to this day. He and I are still very good friends.
That's awesome.
And we talk a lot and we play cards. And it was just that first day was so great. And with Bernie Mac coming over and having him, and in the room, we would go into the house because you say, Miss Parker, Miss Parker. Yeah. Lord, I see what I want, Miss Parker, Miss Parker. And come into the house. And when we had a cut and stop, we had spent some time inside the house and talking. And I really got an opportunity to learn to know Bernie
What you
Mac.
guys talk about behind scenes?
We just talk about life, life in general.
What y'all talk
about our families and different things. And I was into a lot of health things and products and things at that time, which he liked to learn more about. And that was it. It wasn't a lot of time spent, but just enough time for us to be able to communicate and exchange numbers about some health things and issues and what have you. And we talk periodically after that, but just doing that, and of course, like I said, with my husband Tony Cox, we spend a little time together because most of the scenes, if you notice, I'm by myself. So I didn't really get a chance to interact with everybody. And then, of course, the next day coming back with Anna Marie Horsford, with Craig's mama, who I love dearly. To this day, we're still dear friends. I just saw her not too long ago. And just, doing that scene, hey, girl, call me when you get home. Okay. It's like, what the fuck am I going to call you for? Can I say fuck on the show?
Yes, you can.
Okay,
Yes, you can.
and
you're fine.
There's so many wonderful
One-liners
from this whole movie that people talk about. And
we gonna talk about those one-liners in a second.
I know. I'll get.
I want to go back to you said the set was fun, and you had Bernie Mac, comedian, on part of your scene. Who was the biggest jokester on set? I know you were on set for 2 or 3 days. Who kept all the energy alive behind the scenes?
I would have to say absolutely Chris Tucker. Chris was just so full of energy, that young guy, that comedian, his first break, and he was just unequivocally phenomenal. He is the F in Friday, okay? He is the fun person.
F in Friday.
Yeah, he's the F in Friday. I mean, without him, we would have made the movie and could have made it, but all of the elements worked together with all of the characters. But of course, Chris Tucker, he was very fun, and he was just animated. He was very excited. That youthfulness, that just, the improvisation is so important. And when F. Gary Gray allowed us to have that freedom to do that, it made a difference. Like, you're not stuck on a line. You got to go over. You missed that cue. What's the line? What's the line? Forget the freaking line. You make up the whole essence of the being of what the character is and deliver the message the way that character would deliver it. Because you have writers and directors and producers, and sometimes the writers don't always get it right. But you want to keep within the continuity of what they're trying to convey. And when a special actor and person does that and still delivers without using all the wording that you have written down, it's still very special.
Yeah. Kind of what Kid J just asked you, but I want you to go back to just remembering your whole time on the set, okay? And there has to be one scene that you look back and say, oh, that scene was off the chain, that you'll never forget. Is there one?
What scene that I was in? Or
yes.
Just, But of course, when I was watering the lawn,
Of
well,
course.
there was no lawn. When I was watering the dirt,
He's watering the dirt.
Yeah.
and you know what? Actually, when I think back, when I went I didn't go actually for a fitting. Usually you have a fitting before the day or two before you go to the set, but they fitted me the day on the set, and when she put that little tiny little top on me and half my breasts was showing, I was like, I'm like, oh my God, I thought it really was a bit much for me, you know. I mean, I'm out there.
Did
a
you
little bit.
embrace it though?
I had to after a while. They said, that's it. God damn it, that's it. You're going to wear
It
this
looks like
shit.
you embraced it. I mean,
That's
you
it.
had me feeling like,
They
oh,
embraced
shit, yeah.
me. And then with the little shorts and stuff, I'm like, damn, what did I sign up for? And then when I knew it, I said, hey, they said, just go for it. Make it as sensual and sexy as you can. And with the water hose and I didn't have the music then. I just had a vision in my head, my mind, how I was going to entice these young men and bend over just the right angle and with everything and
Yeah,
all
you-
the sweat
you
rolling
did it.
down
Yeah,
and
you did it.
everything.
She did it.
Yeah, very well.
And all that.
Remember now, I was only 34 years old. I was like, oh, Miss Parker.
Oh, Miss Parker.
All right, Miss Parker, can you tell us, is there any behind the scene moments that nobody knows about the movie?
You know, it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
We had to shoot a night, what was it, 28 days or something, which was a
wow.
record time. Oh, yeah, it wasn't even 30, it was like 28, 25 days. That's all we had to shoot and because of the budget. So it wasn't like everybody was lollygagging, spending a lot of time together.
Gotcha.
And if you got 1 or 2 takes, you were lucky. Absolutely, probably for the most part, nobody was doing 2 or 3 more takes, which that's just the way
Wow.
everybody rolled like a professional and, you know, got in their character and did a few rehearsals, and that was it. But there
Wow.
was nothing in particular backstage, the back of the scenes that I remembered. But, you know, after we saw the whole film, and a lot of the people we didn't know or recognize that were in it, especially like, you know, me and my girl now, Felicia,
Yeah, yeah.
Angela Means. I never met her because I didn't do a scene with her. Like I said, I didn't work with Debo. I didn't work with DJ Poole. I didn't work with my buddy Ronaldo Ray. All these
Yeah,
people that were in
yeah.
it. You just do your scene and that's it, unfortunately. But when we had the screening, we had the opportunity to meet with each other and talk about it and just see how wonderful it was. And the whole thing about it was the kind of film that was laugh out loud.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't have to force yourself to laugh. You would laugh uncontrollably.
Yeah.
So that in itself makes this film so special because it is freaking all out funny. I can still watch it to this day, and
Yeah.
I've seen it many
and me
times
both.
and laugh and laugh and laugh, or say that, oh wow, I missed this scene or didn't recognize this scene. But it is legitimately one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. No, I don't think you'll get anybody disagreeing with you on that. Now, you talking about 30 years ago, you know, this film came out, the cultural impact it has had. How do you feel about that? Because, I mean, it's been big, especially in obviously the African-American community. How do you feel about that, being a part of it as well?
Like I said, when I see people see me, they say, Miss Parker, they're like, oh, is it okay to call you Miss Parker? I'm like, yeah, please do. I want you to call me Miss Parker. And the fact that all the cultures over 30 years, like take for instance, my grandson, he's 17. Okay, he's got Down syndrome. He's a sweetheart, okay? And actually, his mom and dad are not together, and they're co-parenting, which is fine. Whenever I take King Yari over to see his dad, they say, oh, they would just like go crazy. Miss Parker in the flesh right here and
Yeah,
everything. And
yeah.
that's King's grandmother and everything. And after a while, King didn't really realize what was going on, especially he's having, you know, Down syndrome and whatever it's like going over his head. But after a while, just recently, in the last year or two, he's been watching the trailer of Miss Parker, and he's been watching them. I think he's seen the movie and everything. He's watched it. And right now he said, hey, Miss Parker. I said, boy, don't you call me Miss Parker. I said, I'm your grandmother, G-Ma. Hey, Miss Parker. And he chuckles and everything. And I've seen him look at the video a little bit, not the video so much, but the trailer. But I'm so grateful that they do have a clean version of the film, which is very important because, in essence, the film just starts out as it does in fun and jest with them dealing with drugs and weed and this and that. And it's a fun ride. But at the end of the day, it has a great message to it. Mm-hmm. Of brotherhood. Now we can fight like this, or you can pull a gun out. Yeah. Craig, you're not going to pull that gun out. You're not taking the gun to the party right now. Yep. You're not taking the gun. You're going to do this like John Witherspoon said, we'll put our fist up. We would
win some, you're going to lose some.
You're going to win some, going to lose some.
But you live to fight another day.
There you go. Hey, that's right. So that in itself is a great message for everybody to know it. And I know my girl Angela, she's going to come and talk about Felicia and, the things.
We're going to talk about
that. Of course, and the things that she went through with Debo.
Right.
Because every scene and every character and every setting has a message to it. But I guess mine was, Miss Parker, don't fuck around because your husband going to put your ass out.
You threw all your shit in the line. He's throwing all your shit in the line.
He's out wearing it.
Did you say y'all was praying or playing? Which one was it?
Praying, because he was a minister. That was actually.
Well, why is y'all praying, but he come out with, did he have his pants on?
Yeah, he came out in his drawers.
Okay, that's some hell of a praying.
Now, Byron,
I'm just saying.
You're too old not to have me have to figure that shit out.
I'm just going back to what I saw.
She said it earlier.
We was on our knees.
Yeah. She said it earlier. Miss Parker was a
that's what she said.
Miss Parker. She know what she doing over there with them little shorts on and everything. She know what she doing.
All right, so 30 years later, how has this movie impacted your career, your life?
Oh, wow. All along, as it has grown into such a phenomena, and even though, and right now we're on this street right here where all began, there's buses that come down here, people. Busloads of people, TMZ, the Hollywood, the ghetto bus, this bus. People come to here. This is a Hollywood phenomenon. It's like the if you go up to Hollywood and the Walk of Fame and see all the stars on. People want to come here. They want to see this. That's how important it is. But for me, it has led to other opportunities within the industry and people knowing me and speaking engagements. And after I got off The Price is Right, the movie. I did it, I think this was in 1995. I stayed on the show until 2000. And after a period, it just kind of helped catapult my career to another level. And it gave me some other opportunities. And, for that, I will be always grateful.
Did Miss Parker, did it open up more doors for you? Or were you typecast as Miss Parker?
Not so much typecast, but... I have a semi. And people did recognize me as, the sexy next door neighbor and doing this and that and the other one. And some of the roles that I did get were kind of like, oh, you could play that Parker. You as Miss Parker. We know you sexy. We know you look good. But to a degree. And then I did a few other things that were kind of far removed from that as a mother and serious person and what have you. So, but, by and large, it did kind of.
What's up next for Miss Parker? I mean, Miss Parker got any things that she's working on right now that she want to do, or does she want to kind of tell the folks? I know you got some work that you do as far as charity events and things of that nature as well.
Well, okay, let's start with the charity and work backwards. I'm with an organization called the Jonathan Foundation, and we are the organization that help children who have special needs and slow development to get a good education in our broken school system. We're advocates, and we also have psychoeducational therapy and assessments that we can get for these kids. So we raise money for that, and that's thejonathanfoundation.org that I'm involved in. We're having our gala come up on May 17th at the Sheraton Universal. But also I've been just doing a lot of different events and for motivational speaking. I do like to do that in particular because a lot of the young ladies that try to emulate me, which is fine. You can go on now and look at all the people trying to emulate Miss Parker. So many of them. I am very flattered behind that. I really want to have a contest and do something of that nature. But even for the young,
I want to be a judge.
But for the young
let me know
people,
when you do. I want to be a judge.
Okay, you be a judge. But for the young kids and people, high schoolers that I've spoken to and I've had the opportunity to go out to do, it gives me great pleasure because I want to let at least the young ladies know in particular, they have more self-esteem about themselves and not fall prey to the men, the boys that try to take them in a whole nother direction and different things that are happening or take advantage of them and feel like they just have to give in to this guy or this person. And their self-worth is so much more. And, by doing this and being involved with certain organizations and different things, it's given me great pleasure to do that. And also, I've written a book called Backstage at the Price is Right.
Okay.
Memoirs of a Barker
Behind the
Beauty.
scenes.
Yeah. My 10 years on the Price is Right. And it's a tell-all. It's not a Bob Barker bashing book, but it is very interesting and very good to read and learn about some things that have happened, racism, sexism, all of that kind of things that happen behind the scene when you're doing TV shows and what have you. So, a lot of good things have happened. I got a wonderful family, my husband, my grandson, my daughter's sons and nephews here. I got a great manager, Ro Brooks Management. He's been really very helpful and instrumental with me and doing a lot of good things. A talk show, music and medicine. We have our own podcast. So there's so much happening and going on for me. And I just partnered with this new company called Vibe, VYB. Vibe is an eco opportunity system where people come together and you're able to learn a lot of different things about crypto, about business, about branding and all of that stuff. So hopefully you'll have our Instagram IA's Instagrams on the end of this so people can go in and look at my bio and see what I'm doing and, like me, love me.
Yeah.
Okay, all that.
All right, Miss Parker.
I'm worth it.
I want to read the book because you know what, being the first African-American woman on The Price is Right in the 90s, I want to read that book.
That was,
when she said that, it just got me thinking, what if we did a behind-the-scenes book on
what kind of behind the scenes? What y'all gonna do?
Oh, we can't do that.
Don't do that. I've been done by
we can't do a behind the book tell-all scene about the Lakers in the 80s and nothing. No,
I know. I was
we
there.
ain't
He
doing
knows
that.
I was there in the 80s.
We ain't doing that. Y'all can forget that shit.
Tell.
That ain't happening. So we can move on because we ain't doing that.
All right, Miss Parker. So we gonna do rapid fire, okay? 5 questions. I'll ask one. Byron asks one. Short answers, okay?
Let me get my question. Hold on.
I'll start it off.
All right.
Who broke character and laughed the most on set?
Ice Cube.
Ooh, okay.
When I was doing it.
If you could redo one scene today, same role, same line, which one would you pick?
Or if I could redo it?
Yeah.
Well, I would do High Boys a little differently.
I did.
Okay,
High Boys. How would you do it?
You know what? Because when I do it, I say, "Hi, boys." What I would do now differently, I would do more like, "Hi, boys." I would make it a little more sensuous.
Yeah, a little more sexy,
too much like, "Hi, boys." Like, it was too
you
clean.
already had them wrapped around your damn finger in the first place, but you really would have had them going crazy.
Hi, boys. Hey, that's what I would
Chris would have
change.
sitting up here like this. let me fold my legs.
I would have changed that line a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so who do you wish had more scenes in the movie?
Me,
There you go.
I knew that was coming.
I did too. I was like, okay, that's an easy one.
Okay, one more. So 30 years later, if you were still in character, what would you be doing now?
I would be raising a child, and
Who's?
I brought. Look, listen. Here, that's listen. Funny you should
Who, the
ask.
Reverend or your husband? Which
Listen,
one?
funny you should ask because I told Cube last time I saw him, which I did Ice Cube's music video, Ego, and last year in July. I'm in his music video, Ego, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And so I told him, I said, if you're going to do the movie, what have you, just have me and my husband, Mr. Parker, back together again in the neighborhood. And we're going to say, hey, I want you to meet our son. Come meet our son. And he's the spitting image of Bernie Mac. Little dark-skinned boy, big old poppy eyes. I said, this is his son. This is our baby. So we would have had a family. I'm sure I would have had at least a couple of children and just living in the neighborhood and taking care of my lawn and making sure it was more manicured. But he took me back. I would just kind of have settled down a little bit. She might be a little boring, but I'm sure probably after a certain period of time, she probably would have went back to her old ways because I don't think Mr. Parker just wasn't hitting that right. She need to knock the dust off that pussy. Okay.
Mr. Parker, you heard it here. You might want to come on the show to, defend yourself.
I think when she got in
You
her
said
golden
you wasn't hitting it right. I'm just saying.
I think when she got in her golden years, her libido got a little more height.
A little bit more height.
And he just wasn't hitting that right.
Okay. All right. Well,
There was
Mr.
always
Parker,
new
you
neighbors to do.
got a invitation to come on the show because you might want to.
He need to.
Come on, man. You got to defend your manhood, dog.
We're going to get Tony back.
I'm just saying. Guys, we want to thank Kathleen Bradley for coming here, a.k.a. Miss Parker. Thank you so much, baby. We love you.
You look amazing 30 years later.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Byron Scott's Fast Break. If you like what you saw, here's some more videos. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.